This is Voices of Hult. This is the second episode, and we are here with our amazing friend Cisco. Here it is, or better known as Cisco, investor sister, right? So tell us a little bit more about your background, your person, and what you're currently doing, why you are here at Hult.
Sounds good. And thanks for having me over today, guys. So, yeah, my name is Francisco de Silva. I was born and raised in Johannesburg, South Africa. I did my first degree in BCom Business Science, but throughout my degree, I wanted a little bit of an edge. I was like, how can I partake in my degree without wasting time? So I started working full-time as well in an engineering firm, which is completely opposite of what I was studying. And at the time, my mentor looked at me and he's like, I know you know nothing about engineering, but come and work for me and I'll teach you everything you need to know. And the minute I stepped through those doors, I looked at the table and I saw a bunch of mechanical drawings. I was like, oh gosh, here we go, help me. After 24 hours of Google, I managed to figure it out eventually. And yeah, since then, I started climbing the ranks. I started as a junior supply chain manager and worked my way up to project estimator. And before I knew it, I was project manager, managing a team of about 25 Thai workers, which was quite interesting.
So how did you get that job? Like, did you had a mentor before? Did you know someone? Was it through networking, online, or personal researches? So you said to us that you did not had any experience before in this. How did you get that job?
Yeah, so it actually came down to, you know what they call prom in America? Like your final year of high school where you go out, you have a good time. So I was looking for a few sports cars to take me and my date at the time to our, we call it in South Africa, matric farewell. And through family, friends, I ended up finding this guy whose name is extremely wealthy guy and has done well for himself. And he was like, yeah, you can use our cars. And in the car, I looked at him and we had a genuine discussion. And I thought to myself, I'm like, he's living my dream life. What better way to become like him than to work alongside him?
So he was your mentor.
Yeah, and since that day, he became my mentor. I asked him if I could go work for him. And a few weeks later, he called me in and he said, let's get this going. Let's get this on the road.
And how did you meet him? You said you went to rent a car from him? Or?
Yeah, so it was through family friends. Okay. So when my family found out I was looking for a car, they gave me his number and they were like, he has a collection of like 16 supercars and he's super nice. Contact him and he'll be willing to help out. And that's how the process got to where it was.
Awesome. Yeah.
Nice. So after this, though, you found yourself like in the finance field, right? And then you wanted to start to spread a little bit more like the knowledge to everyone, to the people that didn't know how to get that knowledge. So you started with the TikTok investor Cisco, right?
Yes.
That's how the world, like the media world, know him. So here it is, like the huge influencer. How did that started and why did that started?
Yeah, so I've had a passion for finance my entire life. I've been trading since the age of 16, so I'm 7 years deep into it right now. And we'll all know trading is a stressful thing. It's extremely high risk, but it made me wealthy enough to step away and start full on investing. And I was like, if I could create this form of wealth for myself, nothing is stopping anyone else from doing it. But there isn't a platform where they are learning or taught how to do this. Not in school, not in university. So I was like, let me be the middleman. Let me welcome them to this sector, investing. And yeah, that comes from a few things. After I quit my job after working for 3 years, I started a portfolio management and development company where I worked basically as a consultant and advised on certain investments. And before coming to America, I was like, I'm leaving South Africa. I'm leaving my African family behind. What can I do to leave a lasting impact with them? And that's what brought me to creating Invest with Cisco. And if any of you guys have watched my videos, you'll hear I always start off with what's happening, future billionaires. Because that's the mindset I have. I was like, I genuinely want to become a billionaire one day. And I know there are other people like me out there too who would love to achieve this.
And what brought you here, therefore, to Hult? Like, what do you think that Hult, more or less, will allowed you even to, achieve your big dream to become a millionaire?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a crazy story. And since I was a little boy, I had a calling my whole life. Like, I knew I would be studying in America. When? I don't know. But I knew when the time was right, it would happen. And it's just a feeling I had deep inside of me. So the story is actually quite funny. The one day I was at work in my apartment, and I got a call from one of Hult's employment or recruiters, and he randomly called me and he said, "We came across your profile. We're really interested. We want to know if you're looking to study further." So I was like, yeah, this is probably a scam, but let's continue the discussion. And after a few meetings and talking with them, I was really interested. And Hult sold me on their focus on practicality. Because to me, anyone can be book smart, but very few people can be street smart. It takes a lot more effort and a lot more skills to implement what you learn in books.
Yeah, and especially here at Hult, we do a lot of like applying in class. We have a lot of projects and teams. So maybe you can tell us about how your teamwork was.
Yeah, so the teamwork is absolutely incredible. One thing I love most about Hult is their diversity. I've worked with people from Japan, Belgium, Germany, literally all across the world. And the skills you learn from this, no form of amount of value can buy it. It's literally something you have to experience firsthand to learn to not only understand other cultures, but to respect them and overcome any form of challenges you might face in order to gel together as a team. Yeah. Otherwise, you won't get the outcome at the end of the day.
Actually, I felt the same, like entering every single day here at Hult. I feel that we are having the world inside one building. It's crazy. Like in my class, we are 72 people, mostly girls, actually. I'm studying marketing, and we are representing around, I think it was like 50 countries. Don't want to give like a wrong number, but it was around that. I was surprised, that those kind of numbers, they like all the deans gave it to us, show it to us, just to show what we have, like the diversity that can be considered as a useful resource. Definitely, we are going to have so many different difficulties inside our teamwork. God knows how many we're going to have, but more in the future. Yet, like every single day, I feel like I learn more from other people, from other cultures. It might be difficult to just like overcome little things for the assignments, just like decide what is it going to be the idea, how we're going to talk, how we're going to work, what's going to be like the team process. But then at the end, you just like feel like, wow, okay, I know now. I know how I should. I think like it's more like a sense, I don't know if you guys felt the same, but I feel it was more like a sense of self-awareness as well. You say, okay, this is how I address the problem. Yeah. Do I do it like in an efficient way? No, apparently, because like other people don't see the same problem that I'm facing. Or maybe yes, I'm becoming better and better in this, if it before was a problem.
Yeah. I think the diverse teams, eventually when you get to the end point, when you get through the assignments and through the difficult bits, it's really rewarding. Yeah. When we had the business challenge and we finished it up, I felt so ecstatic. I was like, oh, thank God we finished. Yes. We did pretty well. I don't know. I assume your business challenges went excellent as well, because I saw some of your pitches; they were really good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I felt that. Well, in the business challenge, I had an amazing team, and we worked a lot every single day. I woke up at 7, or even before, to be here at Hult at 7, work until like late night. Like I do remember that once I left school at 2 a.m. and I was just like, okay, this life is killing me. But it was like towards an common end, and I really loved what we were sponsoring. And as before, like Cisco was saying, Hult is providing you practicality. Like a proper, well, in my case, company came to Hult and gave us like a solid, concrete problem. And it was very interesting to find challenging ways to solve that problem. So yeah, I love that aspect as well of Hult.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to touch base on that I feel like a lot of people suffer with is everyone around us and our families back home, we sort of make life look easy to them. But moving abroad as an international student is extremely challenging, and there isn't much awareness around it. So I'd just like to talk about this topic a little bit and hear what you guys have to say about it.
Definitely.
So I've been living abroad since I was 13 years old. I sort of started out in a high school in Lithuania, and it didn't really fit. So my parents sort of suggested to me that I should try to go to a boarding school in England. So I did that. I think that was one of the best decisions I could have made in my whole life. And ever since then, I've been around international people like you guys. I've been meeting everyone. It's really been rewarding and just an excellent experience. I think just being around people from other countries is really going to develop you much more than being around people just from your home country, speaking that same one language and sort of not expanding your network and your thinking.
So we do have a guy that really embodies the Hult DNA here. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Cisco? Did you traveled before, or did you lived actually for another country as well?
No, so this is actually the first time I've lived so far away from home. When I was working, I was about 3 hours away from home, but on weekends I could still go back to my family. I could still be with them. And especially now that I have a godchild and I have my beautiful nephew, it gets quite difficult at times.
Congrats.
Thank you. But when I was back home in South Africa for the holiday, I got to enjoy the time and presence, but at the same time, I looked at myself and I was like, Cisco, always remember why you are doing this. And it's for those two little kids that when they're growing up, I want to make sure they never have to worry a day in their life. They will not only be set financially, but they'll also have an uncle they can look up to and guide them throughout their tracks. And I need to learn valuable skills in order to teach them this. And what better way by doing that than moving abroad and learning from everyone else from different countries. And even right now, just you two guys amongst me.
Actually, I loved what you said. And recently, we're creating a podcast. I actually am a podcast listener. And thanks to Jonas, actually, he suggested me to listen to a podcast that I totally suggest to other people, which is called The Diary of a CEO. And I have started to listen to the one episode. I'm terrible with names. But the presenter was hosting this very famous guy, and he was saying, you know what? You always have to remember why. What is your cause? Why do you do that thing? And if the cause is just because you want to be the best one, because you want to be the richer, it's not going to bring you anywhere, If your cause, and you said that you want to be a millionaire, those were your words, but then you said, I want to do it for those kids, that gonna look at me and say, oh my God, this is my example that I want to follow. That is a completely, more genuine and definitely more solid, in my opinion, but apparently not just in my opinion, because even around other podcasts say so. And so that is very inspiring, not just for the little kids, but even for other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think having family as the fuel for motivation is just the best kind of fuel you can have, because, you love your family even if they don't love you back. So sort of, if you do that for them, you're always going to have a bright future ahead and be always motivated to do things.
I'm going to ask you guys to imagine something right now.
Yeah.
Imagine you could be the reason your parents retire. You basically repaying them for each and everything they've done for you their entire life. So to me, that's just something small you can give back.
Yeah, definitely.
That is something I think about a lot, that, that in the future, somehow, I will get there to be able to do that and give back to my parents and my grandparents, my brother, my sister. That's a really good motivator, I think.
I think definitely, but you don't have to become a billionaire to be the reason why your parents support you in any possible way. Yeah. I believe I came back, thankfully, had the opportunity to go back for the Christmas time back to Italy. I'm from Italy. And I loved the fact that my parents were super supporting for this. And they were supporting even financially, Yet, how I gave back, of course, I worked before. I'm even, using my money and not just use financials for my dad, for my parents. But it was even like a way that like they are happy. I can see their happiness when investing. So like my best would be, okay, instead of have become a millionaire, to spend more time with you, to spend more time, like quality time. I loved, for example, to have private dinners, like literally one-on-one dinners, like with my dad. I used to live with him for 8 years, just the two of us. And I felt that with those dinners conversation, like you can get so much of the other person. And this is something that maybe a love language that you can spread as well. Not just like giving back, but even like giving your time that doesn't never come back, right?
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And our parents will always be proud of us, and they don't want anything in return. They just want, like you said, quality time. And this brings me to a topic. People don't respect life. If you talk to a lot of people, you'll always hear them complaining or say they hate that they have class early in the morning, or they hate that they have to go to work. But a day is coming where we all are going to experience something tragic. So until that day comes, why not be grateful for everything we currently have and switch our mindset? Like, I'm thankful that I get to go to class at 9:30 a.m. in the morning to do my master's, because not everyone has that opportunity.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the opportunity to go to work. And you see it when you walk on the streets. How many hobos do you see? So just switching that little bit of mindset before and appreciating life, because we all die. That's our fate. We all going to die. Someone we love is going to die. So enjoy and appreciate the time while you can.
Exactly. So now I do have a question for you. What now that we are in January, and you know, January is always the month of the year where you try to make New Year's resolutions, you know? So I'm asking you, actually both of you guys, what is it going to be like your 2023 year resolution? And you're really going to commit and work on this to achieve all of those goals?
Please go for it, Jenny.
Okay, so I didn't really set a resolution on January 1st, but I decided to become more healthy, and I've started doing something towards that goal. I took up Muay Thai classes. I've gone 3 times already, so
Professional
I'm
fighter
getting
in
there.
the house.
I'm getting
I
there.
heard so many people that actually want to become more healthy. Like my roommate, which I say hi to Umberto, he said, you know what? From this year, I'm going to eat more healthier.
Yeah.
Did he do that? I don't know what he's going to say.
I'm not going to eat more healthy because I just love all kinds of food. You know, I just love to eat, but I can become more healthy in terms of doing more sports.
Exactly.
So, sort of playing more tennis. Trying to learn Muay Thai now.
Sure. No. But
that's
my point
interesting,
was everyone wants to be more healthy, maybe, just because, like, personally, I want to do the same. And I wondered why, you know, I was like, okay, why so? Because like in the last month, I was focusing so much even on work, so much on the school and different stuff, even going out with friends, like, you know, clubbing. But that is not like a marathon. Like we are running a marathon, I would say. So you have to take your time for yourself as well. Quality time, as we were saying before, and enjoy like the ride, and not just rushing to place. So in my opinion, just like cooking for myself instead of eating out, here to Hult Center or Hult House, definitely is a way to be more healthy.
Yeah. So what about your resolutions? And did you set any? And are you following them?
Yes, I did manage to set a few resolutions, and one of them was to get back to creating content for Invest of Cisco, because when coming to Hult, I wanted to continue. But like Lydia mentioned, it's such a fast-paced environment where you struggle to find time for yourself and what you really enjoy. So this is something I want to focus on this year, and my number is 100,000 followers. If I can reach 100,000 followers on TikTok, I'll be satisfied. So for any of you guys listening, go follow Invest of Cisco.
Definitely.
But there's a few more. We students, and what's coming up right now, internships.
Yeah.
So I've been having a look around, and my dream job is obviously of BlackRock. I'd like to enter wealth management or client relations with BlackRock. So I'm holding thumbs for that. But for some reason, I have a really good calling or feeling inside that it's going to happen.
Nice. And we wish you all, of course, all the best, and shout out to BlackRock as well then. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
I just wanted to sort of divert from that and go back to Hult. Are there some clubs or societies that you've joined that you enjoy, and maybe you want to tell us about those? And for the students watching at home, perhaps we have a career fair coming up. Maybe there are some clubs that you would recommend for them, or
Yeah, definitely. Have a look at Voices of Hult. I heard it's a group of amazing people. I don't know who they are. But yeah, Voices of Hult is definitely one I'd recommend. It gives you a platform where you can express yourself and give the opportunity for people to understand you better as an individual. And another one that I'm a part of is the Hult Mentorship Club. We haven't had much coming up yet, but there's certain things in the lineup where it's going to be extremely beneficial. Myself, I'm looking to host a trading course within the next 2 weeks because I see a lot of people are interested, but they just don't know how to get started. So I'll start from the bare basics and go all the way to advanced, where I even want to set up demo accounts for these individuals so they can practice using fake money instead of jumping in with real money and probably lose it with no experience.
Oh my God, that sounds super interesting, actually. I would definitely take part of it, definitely. So like you see, Hult itself, it's giving the opportunity to put into practice like what we are learning. That's for sure, like we were saying before about the practicality. And this is a podcast that actually was started from friends, from classmates. And then like, we're just like, okay, we can actually do that with the support of student service. And you actually as well are part of other clubs too, as you were saying, Francisco, but you as well, Jonas. So we do see that inside Hult, you can literally make things happen. So like, what is the hashtag made to do? And here we are, made to do.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you very much for listening. And after like all of those different 2023 resolutions, we truly hope that we're going to follow on those resolutions as well. And let's keep in touch. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.